everybody, Coach Rob here again, Performance Sports Academy, here to talk to you today about in-season training. All right, one of the things we want to talk to you about in-season training right now. We just got done with our extended break with the COVID and whatnot. We had about an extra month and a half, maybe 2 months for some athletes on the training. Right, so we got into a certain level. We get everybody up to a certain level. Now we get ready to go back in to our respective sports, whether it be volleyball. Some of my athletes going into football, and I got some they talking about not training. All right, some people talking about not training or how they're going to work around the training and whatnot. So one of the things is that I want to be able to discuss. I'm going to go over training, in-season training. We want to go in depth on the in-season training. The reason why is we want to do in-season training. Number one is if we get you to a level during the summer, you're training, you're doing your explosive work, you're doing all your lifts, you're doing your plyometrics, you're doing everything we ask you to do, right? And we get your strength level to a certain point, right? Now you go into the season. Most seasons last about 3 months. So you go in there and now you go into your season and you go into 3 months of not doing any type of strength training, not doing any type of strength conditioning program whatsoever. And most of my athletes, they play on highly competitive teams. They travel, they're gonna be contenders in the state playoffs and whatnot. Part of my thing is I tell them is, first of all, we're in Texas, and in the UIL restricts the coaches to having only so many hours of practice per week. So most coaches, not all, but most coaches, what they're going to do is they're going to focus most of their time on getting better at the sport, right? They don't have a lot of time. Their thing is they want you to be a better quarterback, a better receiver, a better running back, a better setter, whatever the case may be, whatever your sport is, that's what they want you to do, right? So if the UIL gives them, 10 hours a week, they're going to devote 10 hours a week, to their respective sport. And so us as athletes, outside coaches, parents, that's one of the things we have to understand is that the coach may not have the extra time to put into the weight room, especially during the season. That's one of the things that I recommend is that we do is continue to train, during the season. Now, will the training be the same? No, it will not. The training will not be the same as it was during the summer and the off season as it is during in season. What we do that what I personally recommend here in PSA for my athletes is to still train at least 1 or 2 days a week. During those 1 or 2 days a week, we're still going to work on our explosive lifts. All right, we're going to do explosive med ball tosses. We're going to do certain types of plyometry. We're not going to do a full strength and conditioning workout, but one of the things that we are going to do is we're going to maintain, our strength. Most of the athletes that we have that are still in the beginning stage, high school athletes, they're not yet in the elite stage. So 2 days a week, they can still make substantial gains, throughout the season. They can still maintain their strength and make substantial gains. Now, my elite athletes, like some of the ones I have in college that was home and whatnot, the ones that's more close to their peak and they're more of an elite level athletes. Now, it may be harder for them to get the gains, but during the season, 2 days a week, they can maintain their strength. Athletes, one of the things we have to understand, we have to continuously train. All right. So another thing that I do outside of the training is we also focus on the recovery, right? You need to be focusing on the recovery. So those 1 or 2 days a week we come in, you're not just doing your explosive lifts, but you're also going to be doing your foam rolling. You're also going to be doing your mobility stretching. You're going to be also doing the ice baths. You're going to hit the massage table. We're going to do all those types of things, throughout the season, so that, like I said, when you're on those competitive teams, now that you're still going to be refreshed. You still got gas left in the tank. This is how our professional level athletes train. Of course, they got more time. because that's all they do, is train, recovery, all that type of stuff. We have to be a little bit more strategic with student athletes, because we got school, we got parents, we have, club ball, we have, school ball, we got everything. So we have to be more strategic with our time and whatnot. So that's what I do here, as I say in PSA. One of the things, last thing I want to talk about is our focus. All right, the focus on the in-season training needs to be maintaining your strength and making sure you stay healthy. All right. Another thing that tends to happen to athletes that stop training is they eventually, a lot of times they get hurt. Your body is used to responding to certain stimulus. Your body is used to, training, going hard, doing all kinds of stuff. You're used to doing that. All right. You're used to training, going hard, doing all, and then all of a sudden, don't get me wrong, you're still getting some of the stimulus doing your respective sport, but now you're not doing that. Now you're not doing the stimulus. Now you don't have that extra competitive edge, and after about 30-45 days, as your strength starts to decline, your muscles and your tendons start to get a little bit weaker. Now you're in your sport and you step wrong or whatever the case may be. This is when injuries begin to happen. One of the things that we want to be able to do is injury prevention. I tell athletes here all the time, I'm not a rehab facility, we are a prehab facility. What we want to do is ensure that we have the strength around the tendons and the joints to ensure that we're not getting as injured, because we are stronger. We're stronger, we're more flexible, our muscles are fully recovered. All right, so in short form, in-season training is what we talk. All right, I want to recommend, everybody in season still continue to train at least 2 days a week. It does not have to be an hour 30-minute sessions. It can be 30, 45-minute sessions. 30, 45-minute sessions that will allow you to come in, focus on your muscle recovery, focus on your explosive lifts, and do what you need to do to maintain your strength throughout the season. Therefore, after your season, now we can get back to our training and we can continue to incline. We don't want to get into the season and we come here. All right, we get into the season here. Now we going in a downward, and then now after the season, now we got to come up. What we would like to see, we would like to come into the season here at a minimum, stay here, and then after the season continue to climb up. Those are the things that we need to be thinking about when we are doing in-season training. But once again, guys, this is Coach Rob here, Performance Sports Academy, just giving you a little nuggets. See you next time.